everyone, Corey from CoreyReviews here to do a quick review of Star Trek Into Darkness. I want to go ahead and just give my quick thoughts on the film. I know most of y'all have probably seen the movie already. I've seen so many people give their thoughts and opinions on the film on here already. There are some twists and turns in this movie, so I want to keep the synopsis short. The movie picks up not too long after the events of the first film. All the characters, all the crew of the Enterprise are kind of just doing what they're doing. They're all trying to explore and help other planets and other territories. And in the meantime, in London, there is a terrorist that surfaces by the name of John Harrison. He's causing a lot of mayhem, killing a lot of people, and really gives the crew of the Enterprise a run for their money. And even though it's not up to the crew of the Enterprise to take down a guy of this caliber, the crew still comes together to help take this guy down. I just want to go ahead and get it off the back since I'm keeping this review short anyways. This movie is pretty much perfect. I mean, everything I loved about the first movie is here in spades, but also this movie just provides so much more. I think that the humor is better in this movie. I think that the drama and even suspense and all the twists and turns, there's more of that in this film. Also, this movie has better direction. It was nice not to see so many lens flares by J.J. Abrams. I think that the writing by Roberto Orci, Alex Kurtzman, and Damon Lindelof was just so spot on. The special effects were out of this world, just so photoreal. And the performances by everyone in this movie, I mean Chris Pine, Zachary, Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg, Carl Urban, and Benedict Cumberbatch as the villain. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch as the villain John Harrison is, to me, one of the best villains out there. A friend of mine and I were talking after the movie that that villain is so good that it's up there with like Heath Ledger's The Joker. It's one of those performances that's so good that every time that he's not on screen, you're like dying for him to come back on screen. I mean, the performance was so creepy and terrifying. You had no idea what this character was going to do next. And if I have one hope for Star Trek 3 is that they bring Benedict back as John Harrison in some way, shape, or form. So as you can see, I mean, I could praise this movie all day long, but another thing I gotta add is that just the direction by J.J. Abrams was so great in this movie. I mean, he just upped his game, not only from the past Star Trek movies, but all the other movies that he's done. I mean, this is the best thing J.J. Abrams has done to date. There were moments in this movie that felt very Star Wars-like. Obviously, J.J. Abrams is going off to do Star Wars Episode 7, and now I can understand why Kathleen Kennedy was, championing this guy to come on board to direct Star Wars Episode 7, because a lot of Star Trek Into Darkness felt very Star Wars-like. And I remember hearing some guy after the movie saying that if Star Wars Episode 7 is even a fraction of how good Star Trek Into Darkness is, then, we're in for a treat with Star Wars Episode 7. I couldn't agree with that guy anymore. Star Trek Into Darkness, to me, is pretty much a damn near perfect film. There's just a few little nitpick things. One thing, I was wanting a little bit more of the villain. Also, I felt, the final act felt a little bit rushed. There was this big action sequence towards the end with Spock and John Harrison. And then, like, a few minutes later, the movie just ends. And, in credits. And I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. I was hoping that the movie would have been a little bit longer. I truthfully think that the movie could have benefited from being about 30-45 minutes longer and kind of exploring some of the new characters a little bit more. And also, I was a little bummed that there wasn't an after-credits sequence. And also, I was kind of really hoping that there was something very specific that was going to happen after the credits that would kind of lead into Star Trek 3. But sadly, it wasn't there, or sadly, nothing was there. But again, a few little nitpick things that really took nothing away from the film at all. Overall, Star Trek Into Darkness, like I said, is pretty much a damn near perfect movie. I cannot wait to see this movie again and again. I am now a Star Trek fan for life. I cannot wait to see what they do with Star Trek 3 now. I'm just kind of already dying to see the third one. And I'm sure it's going to be a few years before Star Trek 3 is even announced because, J.J. Abrams is so busy with Star Wars. And also, like I said, I cannot wait to see what J.J. Abrams does with Star Wars. And does he stick around for Star Wars Episode 8 and 9, or does he come back to Star Trek after Episode 7? We'll see. But as for Star Trek Into Darkness, this movie is just a summer blockbuster masterpiece. You guys have got to get out to see this movie if you haven't seen it already. And if you have seen it already, go see it again, because I know I am. This movie is just awesome. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Pretty much a perfect rating besides a few of those little nitpick things. But yeah, this movie is phenomenal. Like I said, I could praise it up and down all day. So let me know y'all's thoughts of Star Trek Into Darkness in the comments down below. And also, I want to know, what is your favorite Star Trek movie? So yeah, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. And until next time, Corey from CoreyReviews. See y'all later.